No matter if it was him or the dean of Shrek Academy, Flender, both were proud individuals. In this aspect, Dai Mubai's personality was quite similar to theirs. Yi Zhiqiu was furious and, without further argument, strode towards Zhao Wuji. Judging by his aggressive demeanor, it was clear he wasn't going to let this slide. Zhao Wuji turned to the 7 young people who had gathered around him and said, "You guys are really useless, not even able to handle an old tortoise. I'll deal with you when we get back to the academy." The chubby student kindly reminded, "You teacher Zhao, the old tortoise is coming." Zhao Wuji snorted, All of you, go back to sleep." With this, he turned to face Yi Zhiqiu, who was approaching with a fierce cold aura. "Let's settle this with strength," Zhao Wuji said arrogantly, not using his martial soul, and raised his right hand to slap Yi Zhiqiu. Yi Zhiqiu, completely enraged, released his full power of mysterious water-ice seal, the intense cold sweeping towards Zhao Wuji. Simultaneously, he turned his body, using his tortoise shell to block Zhao Wuji's hand. He thought to himself, "You're too arrogant. Even if your soul power is above mine, not using your martial soul will make you suffer a big loss." Unfortunately, it was not Zhao Wuji who suffered. The mysterious water-ice seal that had troubled Tang San and the others had no effect on Zhao Wuji. In the next moment, Yi Zhiqiu was sent flying by Zhao Wuji's slap. Cracks appeared on his tortoise shell, and he flew over 10 meters before landing heavily on the ground. Zhao Wuji cast a disdainful glance in Yi Zhiqiu's direction before turning to lead the Shrek students back to the hotel, muttering as he walked, "It feels good to slap someone without using a martial soul." No wonder. When Dai Mubai and the others provoked Tsonghui Academy, Zhao Wuji had been watching from upstairs. Originally, he didn't intend to intervene, hoping the students would gain more practical experience in coordination. But seeing Tang San, Dai Mubai, and the others besiege Yi Zhiqiu, he was reminded of his recent beating, and couldn't resist stepping in. However, he didn't expect that old tortoise to be so weak, being sent flying with just one slap. Of course, Zhao Wuji understood the real reason. Yi Zhiqiu had used his first spirit ring's defense skill, and hadn't employed the skills from his last 2,000-year spirit rings. Still, after sending Yi Zhiqiu flying with a slap, he had no interest in further entangling with someone significantly weaker than himself. At that moment, he felt just like when he had faced that person recently. Supported by many Tsonghui Academy students, Yi Zhiqiu struggled to stand, spitting out a mouthful of blood. His back felt like it was pressed under a mountain, making it hard to breathe, filling him with fear. He was fully aware of his defensive capabilities. His opponent hadn't even used a martial soul, yet managed to injure him with a casual slap. This meant the power difference was at least 15 levels, perhaps even more. Thinking about the opponent's spirit master level, Yi Zhiqiu shivered and looked resentfully at the departing Shrek Academy group before leading his students away dejectedly. Among them, a female student glanced at Dai Mubai before leaving. Oscar had a beard. Tang San's appearance was average, but Dai Mubai's evil eyes were obviously the most attractive. As for the chubby student, he was always ignored by girls. Of course, Dai Mubai didn't notice her. Not that he was particularly pure, but his high standards meant he'd seen many beauties, far beyond what the chubby student could appreciate. As they walked back, Zhao Wuji grumbled, "You guys really embarrassed me. I'll give you special training when we get back." Tang San and the others looked at each other, but didn't argue, instead smiling slightly. It was clear that Zhao Wuji was protecting them, worried they'd get hurt, though he wouldn't admit it. Facing spirit masters of the 2nd and 3rd levels against a spirit master of over 50 levels without falling behind was already impressive. It wasn't embarrassing at all, especially considering they were only around 15 years old. Zhao Wuji's gaze suddenly landed on Ning Rongrong. Why didn't you use your martial soul to support everyone just now?" Ning Rongrong blinked her big eyes and said, It wasn't the right moment. No one knows I'm from the 7 treasure glazed tile clan. If I use my martial soul at a critical time, the effect will be better. It will have a more surprising effect." Everyone looked at Ning Rongrong with curiosity, but Tang San nodded and said, catching the enemy off guard will have a better effect. If Mubai's power and speed suddenly increased by 30% when using the White Tiger Vajra transformation, even that mysterious Tortoise Spirit King would suffer. Hearing Tang San's words, Zhao Wuji nodded in understanding and said, remember, now that you 7 have joined Shrek Academy, you are a team. You are all little monsters of the Academy and can be called the Shrek 7 Devils. Help each other. With your talents and good cooperation, defeating spirit masters stronger than you is not impossible. Yes, Teacher Zhao. Under the envious gazes of many commoners, the Shrek Academy group returned to the hotel. The night passed without incident. Early the next morning, as dawn broke, Zhao Wuji's booming voice woke everyone. Tang San didn't mind as he always got up early, having developed a good routine. But for the others, especially the sleep-loving Oscar, it was a bit painful. As they ate breakfast, most were still in a daze. The sun slowly rose in the east, enlarging the white fish belly of the sky, gradually brightening the day. Though Tang San saw this scene every day, the emergence of light always moved him, representing a new day. Leaving the town, they sped up. They were now very close to the Stardow Forest, and everyone was excited, especially Oscar, who was eager to see what enhancements his third spirit ring would bring. He knew that without needing to remind him, Zhao Wuji would surely lead them to hunt a 1,000-year spirit beast for him. The Stardow Forest lay in the southern part of the Heaven Do Empire, spanning 2 empires. Due to the many spirit beasts, the national border here was unclear. Most of the forest lay within the Star Luo Empire, though the Heaven Do Empire never acknowledged this. As one of the 3 major wild spirit beast habitats, spirit masters always sought to come here, signifying advancement. No one knew how long the Stardow Forest had existed, but its dense foliage told of its ancient existence. Far ahead, Tang San sensed fresh air blowing from the forest, filled with the fragrance of plants, bringing a refreshing feeling. With his purple demon eyes, Tang San saw a vast green ocean ahead. Its expanse was breathtaking, and the refreshing air came from there. Finally, they reached the edge of the Stardow Forest. The towering trees were over 20 meters tall, even on the outskirts. The dense forest had no paths, shadows concealing its true nature. As they neared the forest, the air became even more pleasant, as if the temperature had dropped a bit. The fresh feeling, mixed with the earthy scent, stimulated everyone's senses. Stop here, Zhao Wuji commanded. Everyone halted. After traveling over 100 miles, their bodies were warmed up, especially Oscar and Ning Rongrong. As support spirit masters, their physical strength was good, but couldn't match Tang San and the others. Oscar chanted his obscene incantation softly, handing out sausages to everyone. After these days, no one minded his sausages anymore, pretending not to hear his chant. Eating the sausages, they felt warm energy restoring their strength, lifting their spirits. Zhao Wuji sternly said, listen up, the Stardow Forest is not like state-protected spirit beast areas. It's extremely dangerous here. You could face 1,000 or even 10,000-year spirit beasts at any time. Don't stray more than 20 meters from me. Ning Rongrong, Oscar, stay close. Don't attack spirit beasts without my order, understood? Understood. Oscar quickly chanted, soon holding a bunch of sausages and jerky. He handed each person a sausage and a dry sausage, saying, my sausage can maintain its effectiveness in the air for 12 hours, which means it will be effective if consumed within that time frame. The sausage has restorative and hunger-satisfying properties, while the dry sausage's primary function is detoxification. Everyone carefully took the sausages and stored them. They understood that Oscar was giving them these items in advance in case they faced a crisis and couldn't get the sausages from him in time. The continuous release of soul power made Oscar's face pale, though it wasn't very noticeable thanks to his beard. The sausages he conjured were highly effective for others, but only about a third as effective for himself, balancing out the consumption of his soul power. Therefore, he could only restore his soul power through meditation, though the hunger-satisfying effect of the sausage was useful to him as well. Zhao Wuji looked around at the 7 prepared youths and waved his hand, saying, let's go." This time, Zhao Wuji had Dai Mubai and Tang San lead the way, while he himself took the rear guard, stepping first into the Stardow forest. Once they entered the forest, the most excited was Xiao Wu. She didn't seem to think it was a dangerous place at all, hopping around happily, which made Zhao Wuji frown. But since she didn't step out of his permitted range, he didn't say much. The terrain within the Stardow forest was very complex, with no paths to follow, so the task of clearing a way naturally fell to Dai Mubai. Using his martial spirit, Dai Mubai's tiger claws extended, and he swung his hands, cutting through the thorns ahead without slowing the group's progress. Tang San followed closely behind Dai Mubai, enhancing his vision and hearing to their maximum, carefully observing the surroundings. The Grandmaster had taught him about wild soul beasts. Wild soul beasts were highly aggressive and had a strong hatred for humans who hunted them to improve their abilities. The most dangerous aspect was that some wild soul beasts lived in groups, meaning they might encounter a pack of powerful beasts. In such cases, unless the soul masters were exceptionally strong, they would struggle to defend themselves. Therefore, the Grandmaster had repeatedly emphasized that once they enter the territory of wild soul beasts, they must be extremely cautious and make no mistakes, or they could face catastrophic consequences. The Grandmaster had sent Tang San to Shrek Academy, not to learn new things, as the Grandmaster could teach him everything Shrek could, but because the Grandmaster's own strength was a limitation. Although he could guide Tang San without any issues, he couldn't help Tang San obtain a spirit ring after he reached level 30. The spirit ring suitable for level 30 was of the Millennium rank, and Millennium soul beasts were rare in state-preserved areas, especially those with good attributes. They were more likely to be found in wild soul beast habitats. Thus, the Grandmaster sent Tang San to Shrek Academy, mainly to leverage the strength of the Academy's teachers to help Tang San obtain an appropriate spirit ring. Soon, they encountered soul beasts, and it was a group of them. Under Zhao Wuji's whispered command, the group stopped. Tang San was the first to notice the group of soul beasts, a pack of rodent weasels. These beasts were small and not very powerful, but their teeth were extremely sharp, capable of biting through metal. Tang San held back Dai Mubai, who was cutting through the thorns, with one hand and signaled to the others that there was no danger with the other. From the knowledge imparted by the Grandmaster, he could tell at a glance that this pack of 20 to 30 rodent weasels were merely 10-year soul beasts. The weasels had a keen sense of smell and had clearly detected them from this distance, but showed no interest in them. Tang San pointed to the side, and Dai Mubai understood, continuing to clear a path to the side for the group to proceed. As they walked, Dai Mubai asked Tang San in a low voice, Why are we detouring? Those weasels aren't strong, we could just kill them." Tang San smiled, They don't pose a threat to us, so why kill them? If all soul masters acted like this, there would be no soul beasts left in the forest after many years. Moreover, my teacher said that in a wild soul beast forest, even low-level beasts should not be taken lightly. Engaging them could attract stronger beasts due to the noise and scent of blood. We should be cautious. Dai Mubai nodded in agreement. Your teacher must be a very powerful elder. This is valuable experience. Tang San thought of the Grandmaster's regrets and smiled wryly. Powerful? The Grandmaster wasn't associated with that word. This was the Grandmaster's lifelong regret. The Stardow forest was incredibly dense, with sunlight barely reaching the ground. They walked for about an hour, and it was now noon. During this hour, they encountered many soul beasts, mostly 10-year and 100-year ones. They avoided most confrontations, and Dai Mubai easily dealt with those that did approach, scaring them off rather than killing them, following Tang San's advice. Let's take a break. Zhao Wuji's voice allowed everyone to relax. Dai Mubai cleared the thorns around them, creating a clearing of nearly 100 square meters. They sat down to rest. Oscar once again offered his sausages. At this point, no one cared about the taste. They ate Oscar's sausages and drank their water, taking a temporary break. Zhao Wuji ordered a 1-hour rest. They were still on the outskirts of the Stardow forest, where high-level soul beasts were rare, making it relatively safe. Their goal was to help Oscar hunt a suitable Millennium soul beast, requiring them to venture deeper, where it would be more dangerous. Therefore, adjusting to their best condition in the relatively safe area was crucial. Xiao Wu leaned on Tang San's shoulder. Although she had been cheerful when they first entered the forest, she now seemed listless after encountering the soul beasts, as if something was bothering her. Tang San had asked her, but she always said she was fine. After about half an hour of rest, Tang San and Zhao Wuji simultaneously looked in the same direction. Zhao Wuji shouted, everyone up, something is approaching." Tang San and Dai Mubai instinctively shielded Oscar and Ning Rongrong, while Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun took their positions, releasing their martial spirits, including Zhao Wuji. The rustling sound grew louder, and even Oscar and Ning Rongrong could sense the speed of the approaching creature. Zhu Zhuqing, see what it is, Zhao Wuji ordered. Zhu Zhuqing silently leaped up, her claws extended, swiftly climbing a nearby tree to look in the direction of the sound. Cats have excellent vision, even at night, let alone at noon. Soon, Zhu Zhuqing's cool voice came from the tree. It seems to be a flying snake, but it can't fly high, only about 3 meters above the ground. It has a large red crest on its head, larger than its head, and its tail is fan-shaped. Zhao Wuji's eyes lit up. A phoenix-tailed crest snake, quite rare. The crest on its head has many wonderful uses. Oscar, you're in luck. But I don't know how many years this snake has lived. Zhu Zhuqing, keep an eye on its movements and report any changes immediately. It's heading towards us quickly, but it seems to have trouble balancing. Tang Sen suddenly asked, how long is the snake, and what color are its wings? Zhu Zhuqing replied, the wings are light red, and it's about 6 to 8 meters long. Tang San calculated and said confidently, it's a Millennium phoenix-tailed crest snake. The light red wings indicate it has lived for 1,000 years, and based on its length, it should be between 1,300 and 1,800 years old. Perfect for you, Oscar. The phoenix-tailed crest snake is non-toxic, a rare powerful non-toxic snake. It attacks by constricting its prey to suffocation, a single but swift method. The crest stores various nutrients, giving it a burst of speed in danger. If you obtain this spirit ring, your next skill should relate to speed, either enhancing speed for others or yourself, both excellent options. Because it's non-toxic and not very strong, Millennium snakes are rare. You're lucky this time. Oscar's peach blossom eyes immediately lit up. A little San, you're a living encyclopedia of the spirit world. Amazing, truly amazing. It wasn't just him, except for Xiao Wu, everyone, including Zhao Wuji, had a newfound respect in their eyes as they looked at him. Soul beasts are as varied and mysterious as martial spirits, and it's not easy to determine their age and level. Tang San could accurately identify the type and strength of the soul beast they were about to face just by listening to Zhu Zhuqing's description, and even provide detailed information about it. This showed his profound understanding of martial spirits, something even Zhao Wuji admitted he couldn't achieve. Tang San smiled shyly, it's all thanks to my teacher. Rather than calling Tang San an encyclopedia, it was more appropriate to call his teacher that. The master's research on martial spirits had reached the pinnacle. As his disciple, Tang San not only had strong abilities, but also possessed enough theoretical knowledge to teach at any academy. Zhao Wuji couldn't help but ask, since you know this soul beast well, what's the best way to capture it? Tang San answered without hesitation, all serpents fear aggressive birds, especially long-beaked cranes. While we don't have a crane martial spirit among us, Fatty's phoenix spirit is the king of birds. His martial spirit aura should have a suppressive effect on the phoenix-tailed crest serpent. The serpent isn't strong in attack. We just need to be careful not to let it escape. It's coming, Zhu Zhuqing's voice suddenly rang out. She leaped down from the air, showing no fear despite facing a Millennium soul beast. Her claws and her first soul ring lit up simultaneously as she launched her nether thrust. A massive serpent, just as Zhu Zhuqing had described, appeared. It was about 6 or 7 meters long, with a bright red crest on its head, looking quite fierce. Zhu Zhuqing's nether thrust aimed straight at its crest. The phoenix-tailed crest serpent reacted quickly, dodging just enough for Zhu Zhuqing's strike to land on its body, emitting a dull thud and slowing the serpent down. Seemingly startled, the serpent turned its head and spewed a colorful mist at Zhu Zhuqing. Its red crest glowed as it accelerated again. Dai Mubai shouted instinctively, "Be careful." Out of concern, he immediately activated his Millennium Soul Ring skill, White Tiger Vajra transformation. His body enlarged rapidly as he charged towards the phoenix-tailed crest serpent. The 7 treasures have one name: speed. Ning Rongrong's clear voice rang out, and Dai Mubai felt his body lighten, his speed increasing, intercepting the serpent just in time. With a loud crash, Dai Mubai grunted, retreating nearly 10 meters, but the serpent's forward momentum was halted. Its massive body twisted in mid-air before crashing to the ground. The mist it spews is just to scare us. It's non-toxic, Tang San's timely voice reassured them. Meanwhile, the blue silvergrass that had been prepared sprang up, wrapping tightly around the serpent, especially binding its wings to prevent it from flying. Fatty released his full martial spirit pressure, causing the phoenix-tailed crest serpent to shudder, sensing the aura of the evil fire phoenix. However, it was still a Millennium soul beast and not easy to subdue. Though temporarily grounded, it could still move quickly, and in a flash, it slipped out of the blue silvergrass, speeding 10 meters away. Trying to escape? Not that easy. Zhao Wuji's deep voice boomed. With his third soul ring skill, gravity increase, the serpent's body stiffened and slowed dramatically. Zhao Wuji's fourth and fifth soul rings glowed simultaneously, and he leaped, landing in front of the serpent under his fourth soul ring skill's precise tracking, unleashing gravity crush. Despite the serpent's slippery nature, Zhao Wuji's overwhelming soul power left it no room to escape. Handling a Millennium soul beast was a piece of cake for the immovable king. His brief display of strength left the students in awe, and Tang San realized how lucky he was during his duel with Zhao Wuji. Had Zhao Wuji used his combined soul skills from the start, Tang San wouldn't have had a chance to use his hidden weapons. Zhao Wuji grabbed the serpent's head, lifting it, and flicked its crest with his other hand, knocking it unconscious. Done. Everyone cheered excitedly. Oscar, only 14, was particularly thrilled, running towards Zhao Wuji. Xiao Wu stood by Tang San, head lowered, her eyes filled with reluctance. Do we really have to hunt soul beasts? Tang San sighed, survival of the fittest. If this serpent were stronger, do you think it would spare us? Xiao Wu fell silent, her face still pale. Zhao Wuji handed a short blade to Oscar. Better do it quickly. Pierce here, under the crest, to reach its brain. This soul ring is yours. Oscar, hands trembling with excitement, took the blade. Just as he was about to strike, a hoarse voice yelled, Stop. 2 figures appeared, one old and one young, both women. The elder, about 60 or 70, with neatly combed white hair and a robust spirit, held a 3-meter-long snake-headed staff, 6 soul rings glowing. The younger girl, about 16 or 17, with short hair and a fit outfit, clutched a 2-meter staff with only 2 soul rings. The sudden appearance surprised everyone, but seeing the elder's 6 soul rings, they relaxed. Zhao Wuji's 7 rings, especially the dark 10,000-year ones, were intimidating. The elder, however, looked troubled, recognizing the formidable soul saint in front of her. What's the matter? Zhao Wuji asked, his tone surprisingly gentle. Dai Mubai, familiar with Zhao Wuji's usual harsh demeanor towards weaker opponents, was puzzled. The elder softened her expression. "Irrespected soul saint, you can't give this phoenix-tailed crest serpent to this child." Zhao Wuji, holding the serpent, signaled Oscar to wait and turned to the elder, "EY." The elder, regaining some composure, replied, Because we discovered and started hunting this serpent first. Otherwise, why would we have been chasing it all this way?"